Hi, I'm Jazz Obrecht, and welcome to my Talking Guitar podcast with Ronnie Wood. Ronnie first found fame as the bassist in the first Jeff Beck Group. Then in the early 1970s, he distinguished himself as the lead and slide guitarist and pedal steel guitarist for Rod Stewart and for the Faces. In 1974, he replaced Mick Taylor in the Rolling Stones, a gig that he still holds down today. Woods' amplified lead sound is one of the most distinctive in all of British rock and roll, sure-handed, heartfelt, and scrappy. His acoustic and electric slide playing likewise have great depth of character and an appealing, bittersweet sound. Our interview took place on July 14th, 1994, in the cafeteria of Toronto's Crescent School, where the Rolling Stones were rehearsing for their Voodoo Lounge tour. As Ronnie came bounding into the cafeteria with a drink in one hand, he saw that I had out on the table a photograph of various slides that guitarists have used over the last century to conjure their sounds. Ronnie examined the photo for a moment, and then he pointed excitedly to an old hunk of thin copper pipe. We were off and running. I hope you enjoy this interview. I brought you some light reading if you're interested.
Good man.
Yeah. We did a picture of historical slides people have used over the last 100 years. It's interesting how it's changed. Is yours on there? One of yours on there? The style
Copper
you
pipe,
use?
that's what I use, number 4. 3/4 inch.
Really? That's got a really distinctive tone. You've got a...
But I have used, well, I do use these with the
Stevens
lap
bar?
steel,
Uh-huh.
and this with the pedal steel.
Bullet bar.
And I've used knives and lighters. This is more like... No, that's too heavy. Mine is more like this light copper pipe.
That thing's really thin, and it's got a muted sort of sound,
Mm-hmm.
that particular pipe. You have one of the most distinctive slide tones in history. It's like the second you hear it, you know, that's Ron Wood. It's
Right.
It was on some of the Rod Stewart stuff. I hear it again in Sweethearts Together.
That's the lap steel.
What
The
is that
Fender.
instrument? An old one?
Yeah. $150 I got it for an old lady's attic.
Really? Have you had it for a long time?
Yeah. 15 or a few more years, yeah.
Was that on some of the earlier records as well?
I've always used, you know, the Black Zemedas
Yeah.
6-string,
Right.
Stay With Me guitar. I've used that a lot for a slide.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the distinctive pedal steel, you know, sound,
Yeah.
which can only get by the pedals. The B-bender and the lap
Uh-huh.
and the Black Zemedas.
Have you
in open tuning, and I use it on normal guitars, you know, normally tuned guitars.
Yeah.
So,
Where did your interest in that come about from?
Dwayne Orton,
Really?
when I heard him play on the Weight in Aretha.
68. Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, just when I was playing bass with the Beck Group, when that folded, I immediately went into slide. I mean, I picked it right up. I've never really played it before.
Did it come natural? I mean, did anyone help you out, or?
No, I just did it.
I've met...
That and the harmonica I learned very quickly as well.
Huh, that's
Blow and bend
interesting.
like Jimmy Reed, or suck and bend, you know.
Dwayne was sure a beautiful player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did that lead you on a journey back into older players?
Oh yeah. Well, I'd already been hip to older slide players, you know, Blind Willie McTell and all those kind of things.
Blind Willie Johnson?
Yeah. But McTell on the 12 string.
Yeah. Man, he was great, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard he played with a ring on his finger that he turned around.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did an interview at the Library of Congress where he talked about that. And he also
Brilliant.
claimed Blind Willie Johnson played with a ring on his finger. Although other people say it's a knife. Yeah.
It's quite possible both. But are you on?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
It's going.
So we're not like preambling.
Oh, no, this is it. I wouldn't waste your time.
Leo Kottke was very modern day kind of. Remember that album?
6 and 12 string guitar. 6 and 12 string guitar. It was called black cover and an armadillo on it.
Yeah, that was really.
Boy, he opened some doors.
The door opener. Yes. There's another guitar player called Hop Wilson.
Hop Wilson. Wasn't he a lap player?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I got songs that I wrote like Black Limousine, for him, those kind of licks.
Yeah.
I thought Mick Taylor was great, really good slide player too.
He was clean, sort of clean like Robert Nighthawk.
And I like to emulate him on things like All Down the Line and Love in Vain,
Oh yeah. Ry Cooder told me one time that the great thing about slide is you're able to hit the notes between the notes.
Yeah, and a lot of it is accident. By accident, you hit a lot of great things. People say, how do you do that? I did a lot of when I first went into slide, I only learned, like Dwayne did on the way. And then I took it from there. I tuned my guitar to open E, and that's when I got my first kind of slide instrumentals like Plinth, when I had those breaks.
Man, that song blew me away when I was a kid and heard that the first time.
And then I carried on that tradition on things like That's All You Need and Borstal Boys and With the Faces.
Yeah. Sweet Lady Mary.
Yeah. And that was pedal steel.
That was.
First time I played pedal steel, that was as well. I picked that up just like that.
So you, not long after hearing it, you started playing it on records. That's incredible.
Probably the same day.
Same
I mean,
thing
as soon as
with
I could get the instrument, I'd play it.
That's amazing.
I've always been lucky like that. Very quick to pick up,
Do you follow the Elmore James theory that it's better to record at a lower volume with slide?
Now I would. Now I've matured a bit, but in the early days it was 11,
It's hard to tame the beast when it's that loud.
Yep, actually, thinking about it in the studio when I did things like Plinth and that, they weren't very loud. You get a much cleaner sound.
Huh. Yeah.
But if you want funny enough, the Elmore James sound to me sounds like the amps on overdrive. It sounds like it's in distortion.
Yeah, I asked Homesick James about that, though, who played bass on those sessions, and he said we did not play loud. Elmore would not allow it. Interesting.
And Eric probably picked up a lot of that approach because he likes to play it soft as well.
Yeah. You sure had a lot of opportunity to express yourself on the new record.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you happy with it?
Yeah. Edge's guitar man, Dallas Shue, gave my roadie Church a big compliment yesterday. He rang up and he said, "Oh man, he's playing that steel on the album. Do you get someone in from Nashville?"
It sounds like Bakersfield to me. It's like sounds like some guy that's been
Didn't
living
sound like
in California
Nashville
all
to
his
me,
life.
but
yeah.
But he thought they'd brought a pro in, who just does that.
How did that happen to get on there?
Don is very encouraging to suggest, hey, how about a pedal on this one? How about a lap? And I would be thinking it, but I thought, I wouldn't get used. And Don would say it once, and everyone goes along with him.
Huh.
So easy to work with.
What are your favorite tunings for pedal?
Well, as I call it, the Nashville tuning. It's there's a Hawaiian one, isn't there? There's one that's C6.
C6 is Hawaiian.
Right. Well,
It's flat key.
I use the other one. E9.
Yeah, right. That's
Whatever that means.
Keith.
But you know, with the 10 strings, it goes. That's all I know.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's more of an unlimited instrument for you because you don't have the restrictions of the frets?
No, but it's the swings and roundabouts there, because if you hit one of the 10 strings that is not fitting in that particular chord, you can do an enormous blunder. You know?
Yeah, you can fall on your face hard.
Oh yeah, there's only certain strings you're going to hit to make a chord if you want a thick, a fat chord. But also, I have to be very careful on that song, The Worst. Like
Right.
That note there, that's going on to the restricted area, and if you hit another one either side of it,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's funny. What's your all-time favorite setup for a 6-string slide? Like guitar and amp and all that?
You should have Church up here, because he will give you some inner details that only he knows. But just, are you talking 6-string slide?
Yeah.
My favourite setup were in the open string tuning would be the Zamatis, or in the old days used to use a Dan Armstrong. They were great.
The plexiglass? Or
Yeah.
Really? Those are...
I made the mistake of giving that to David Bowie.
Sucker.
I thought I could get another one, and I couldn't.
Yeah. I'll bet once this is published, you'll get all sorts of letters from people that have one for you.
All right.
They're there.
And also in the open string mode, I love my Fender lap steel.
Yeah.
Going through a Fender Twin or Mesa Boogie, or in the case I'm using now, even if it's a regular strung guitar like my Les Paul Special that Jesse Ed Davis gave me.
Yeah.
He used to play with Taj Mahal. It's a very special sound to me. I'd use the Ampeg and a Vox AC30, and maybe incorporate a Fender amp in there.
You're using pretty big amps for that, then.
Well, have you seen the setup?
No.
After this, you can come and have a look, and you can take your own little notes to add to this.
Oh, okay, great.
And then you can talk to Church, and he'll tell you the finer things, because I plug in, am I ready? Let's go. That's my approach.
Yeah.
I don't get into the techniques of it too much.
It was interesting to hear you sing your part. When you get a track that you're going to work on, or you're hearing the song for the first or second time before you play your part, do you hear the melody in your head before you find it on the guitar?
I've always done things by ear, whether it's playing a guitar, saxophone, piano, or harmonica.
Were you a school musician as a kid?
Yeah, I got out of lots of lessons in the art class and in the choir.
Oh, really?
I went from treble to alto, tenor, and bass in the choir all through my school years.
Was this like a Catholic school choir or something?
No, it wasn't Catholic, with Church of England. It was just singing in cathedrals, St. Paul's, Coventry Cathedral, and on behalf of the school. And it was great. And the Christmas time things, the school concert.
Did you share Mick and Keith's love?
I also had a jazz band at school as well.
Really?
We used to get special permission to rehearse. and play every now and again. We used to do sort of Dave Brubeck stuff.
Really? Like
Yeah.
Take Five kind of stuff?
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
Blue Rondo, Hello Turk, whatever it's called, you know.
Did you share a love of blues when you were young, like Mick and Keith did?
Yeah, because my older brother's Art, who's 10 years older than me, he had the Artworks group, and that was with John Lord and Keith Hartley, and they were all sort of. Art started with Cyril Davis and Alex's Corner,
Right.
who were the blues pioneers in England.
Right.
So while I was in short pants, I used to go down and see Cyril, and I saw musicians like Nicky Hopkins and Strawberry, the great guitar player, and Carlo Little, the drummer. He used to get me lots of imports, just of Chuck Berry and Blue Feeling. That's another lap steel. And
Yeah.
That was another big turn on for me.
That's a beautiful song, isn't it?
And Deep Feeling.
Yeah.
Blue Feeling and Deep Feeling, they're marvellous. And my other brother, Ted, he's 8 years older than me. He was in a traditional jazz band, playing like Johnny Dodge and Louis Armstrong and Big Spiderbeck, people like that. So through them, they had a band as well that used to be allowed by my parents to rehearse in the back room. So while I was little, there were always instruments knocking around. There were wood blocks, saxophone, clarinets, guitars, banjos, comb and paper, kazoos.
Were they coming out of skiffle, basically?
Yeah. I made my first appearance playing washboard at 9 years old between two Tommy Steele films at the local cinema.
No way.
My big break with my brother's skiffle group.
Oh, that's funny. Too bad
And they
there's
had
not a film of that.
They had a guitar player called Lawrence Sheaf and another one called Jim Willis. He mainly played the banjo or a big fat Charlie Bird or Charlie Christian type guitar. But Lawrence had a gut string acoustic that he used to emulate exactly Big Bill Broonzy. And I used to sit there and he'd play like guitar shuffle, Lawrence. Wow. And he'd just blow my mind. And that's what I thought, I want to play like that.
How did you wind up finding your first fame as a bass player then?
When my first band, the Birds, split up, I had reached a saturation point on the guitar. I thought, it's not going anywhere. So when I met up with Jeff Beck, who I used to meet on the road, when he left the Yardbirds, I just rang him up, and he said, "Hey, come over, let's form a band." So the Jeff Beck Group was my first break on the bass, but I used to do sessions on it as well.
Yeah. Like pop sessions?
Yeah, Arthur Brown Fire.
Really?
Goo Goo, Barabajaggle, Donovan. I used to, a lot of them I've forgotten.
Who was the big guitarist, the studio guy? Was it Big Jim
Sullivan?
Yeah, were you aware of him?
Yeah, he had all the jobs. He had like control of. He was the man. Him and Jimmy Page were the top session men.
Yeah.
In England at the time.
That's interesting. Well, at what point did you become aware of the Stones?
At the outset.
Yeah.
The first.
Did you know them before?
No, but going back to my brother's group, the Artworks, during the Cyril Davis era, Charlie Watts was the drummer, so Art worked with Charlie at the time when Art used to help Charlie's dad set the drums up for him, and one day Charlie said to Art, "I've got this offer to join this interval band called the Rolling Stones."
Interval?
Interval band, like they played the interval between big bands,
Right.
And he said, "I don't know whether to do it or not." And Art said, go for it, and, if you want. I
Yeah.
said, well, I don't know what to do, because Charlie was a commercial artist as well,
Yeah.
as my brothers were, and I was going to go that way as well. But it was
You have in your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I can do more the graphic instead of like grinding over the desk like they used to have to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did know a bit about the Stones, like from Art would tell me about Charlie, and I think one of the first times I bumped into Mick and Charlie was at Hyde Park when Brian had died, when they were doing that concert.
Oh, when
and
Mick
I was
did his
walking
first
around
gig.
the perimeter, and Charlie and Mick came across the road in front of me, and we said hi, and I said, and they said, well, we'll see you soon. I said, yeah, sooner than you think. Sort of thinking one day I'm going to be in that band.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Like
Rod Stewart and me had a few things. We crossed paths with Mick when he was producing P.P. Arnold, and Mick also produced something with Rod, Little Misunderstood, I think it was.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I never forget arriving at that session. I think I was playing bass on it. There was Keith Richard on guitar, Nicky Hopkins on piano, Keith Emerson on organ, and all these sort of famous musicians. And I was like in there with them, and I was thinking, yeah, this is great.
It's funny though. After Mick Taylor left, you really kicked the band into a whole higher gear.
Mick always underestimated himself. He didn't think he could play guitar, which I always used to tell him he was totally wrong about,
Taylor thought that? Mick Taylor thought that?
Some nights he had so much stage fright when he was in the Gods.
Yeah.
That I had to go on and do his set. He was just too nervous to go on. I'd go on and play with this band I'd never played with before and do his set. Then I'd do my set with the Birds.
That's interesting. What do you think his strengths were?
In his actual playing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he hasn't changed that much. A few years ago when I had Woodies on the Beach in Miami, a club where I got to play with all my favourites, Buddy Guy and all this.
Yeah.
I had Mick Taylor's blues band there, and I got up and played with him. And then when it came to do an encore, he said, I can't go on, you do it. It was exactly the same as the old days. I was saying, come on, Mick, what the hell is going on?
You seem to have so much fun when you're playing, and you put so much body movement and life into it. It seems like you're high,
It is, yeah. I do get... I feel very comfortable playing.
Are you a compulsive player? Do you play every day of your life? Or?
No. I very rarely play when I'm on my own. I swap and interplay with people, yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm with Keith or when I'm with Eric, and even with Slash or Izzy, or it doesn't matter. We swap licks and just play.
Yeah.
Mick as well. Mick's got a good rhythm style.
If a child of yours wanted to become a professional guitarist, what?
Like Jesse, who's arriving on Monday. Jesse James.
Your son?
Yeah.
What course of learning would you advise? Would it be record schooling or?
Well, I would have said record schooling like I did, learning straight from the record if you got the ear.
Yeah.
But nowadays they have these guitar schools. It's sort of an option to further education in England. You can either go to university or do a special course for your A-levels or something, or you can study the guitar at these schools. Not too long hours a day, just 3 or 4 hours a day they go. And that's what Jesse's doing, and it's really improved his playing.
So you've been teaching you stuff?
Yeah, well, he's been blowing my mind because he plays it a lot like Cropper, Steve Cropper. Very
Nothing wrong with that.
No. And the great thing is he never came to me for any shortcuts or tips or anything. He did it all on his own. I'm very proud of him. I did sit him down with Eric once and just left him alone in the room, you know, and he was very nervous.
Of course.
But I was listening outside and you know, it's great. And I actually just recently, I was on holiday in the Maldives, just off of India, and there were all these little islands, and then these little bands that just tour the islands.
Yeah.
And every hotel we'd go, you know, we'd just sort of, oh, we go to that island tonight, you know, for dinner, and we'd see all these bands, and Jesse and I got up a couple of nights and jammed with them, you know, it was good fun.
It's interesting. Do you think he's going to, like, stay with it and that's his life?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He has a band now called Wood Spirit.
Wood Spirit?
Yeah, which is the strongest alcohol you can get as well as...
Blow your head up. Are you a collector of old instruments or anything like that?
Yeah, got an old Uncle Harvey in my dobro. Have you seen that?
Uncle Harvey?
Yeah.
What's that? That's a new one.
I bought it from John Dopera. You know, one of the Dopera brothers.
Yeah.
And it's very special. It's downstairs. It's gold-plated wooden and metal Dobra. Yeah.
I think one of the last of the brothers just passed away recently.
In fact, Mick's playing it on that song called "The Storm," which is the B-side of first single. Love is Strong.
What's it like going on tour when you're closer to 50 instead of 20?
Even more fun.
Why is that?
Well, because you just can't wait to get out in front of the audience again, you know.
Yeah.
And give them your best.
What's the most challenging aspect of your job here?
The most what?
Challenging aspect of what you're doing with the Stones.
Try and remember where the breaks come in songs.
I noticed everyone turning to Chuck Leavell last night to try to figure it out.
And like, oh, Woody, you know, oh, you meant to stop there. Oh. But that's all fun as well, you know. You get that out in rehearsals, make all the mistakes. But last night, were you here last night?
Yeah.
That alternative set we did.
I love that.
None of those are in the set that we're going to do.
Oh, really? I saw you like doing Heartbreaker. You listened to the reference CD one time and you had it. It's incredible. You're such a quick study.
Yeah, that's where I'm lucky there. Blessed.
Natural sense of melody. Is that inherited?
Yeah, but from who? I don't know.
Your parents aren't musical?
Well, my dad was. We had a 24-piece harmonica band that played the horse racing tracks in England, down by the Wooden Post.
Did you say 24-piece harmonica?
Yeah, band, yeah.
All harmonicas?
Yeah. They used to play these kind of
The
concertos.
big ones and little ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that must have been funny.
Well, you know, I was too young, you know, to go, but I heard all these stories about them. You know, they had a funny gang, you know.
If you could transcend time somehow and go visit any musical period or witness any musician playing, where would be the first places you'd want
to? I'd like to have been in the audience watching Big Bill Broonzy on this old video I have from him from
the Paris
Belgium.
nightclub, or the Belgian nightclub.
You seen that?
Keith told me about it a few years ago. I've never seen it.
Oh,
I've only seen the one where he's playing on the front porch.
I've never seen that one.
Happy to send it to you.
All right.
It's like early 60s, late 50s. I don't remember when he died, but he's an old man. He's flat picking. Yeah, it's nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
This one from Belgium. Oh, you got to see that.
Is he like
younger man.
Real elegant looking?
Yeah. And it's wonderfully shot. There's this woman swinging a lampshade. You know. It's all dark, and he's got this lampshade, and there's drinks and cigarettes. Close-ups on him.
Oh, man.
Very little close-ups on his hands, but you do see some long shots, and you can pick out how he's doing these things. And, it's wonderful.
Did you ever see any of the guys when they went to England, like when Brunsey was sick, and he recommended that Muddy go over the first time. And
I saw Muddy at Croydon in the old blues packages. Yeah, they used to come there with Victoria Spivey and the Sunny Boy. And my first paying gig, in fact, in my local town near Heathrow Airport, was with Memphis Slim.
Wow.
I got a bottle of whiskey for playing with him.
Oh, man.
When I was about 16.
What an honor that is.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
He played this club called the Ivy Leaf Club. Not far from where Tony King was born, actually. It was in Bentinck Road, in the same road that he came from.
Yeah. Keith makes a big deal of how you intuitively have this connection where if one guy stops playing, the other guy's instantly there, and you're like Siamese twins in a way. Have you
Yeah,
felt,
we don't talk about where we stop and play, and sort of just get on with it.
have you had that kind of relationship with other musicians?
Yeah, but not as fluently or fluidly as it is with Keith. But yeah, I have.
Interesting.
Buddy Guy, Muddy.
What was it like playing with Muddy?
Fantastic. He's the boss. You know, you play or stop. You know, he was the daddy of them all. And I loved the way he just did everything. Oh, the man. You seen that picture downstairs Keith's got of him in the Father Christmas hat?
I brought that to him.
Oh, get me.
I'd love to.
Please.
Yeah, the photographer gave it to me.
Mick is sort of ready to go when you are. How ready are you? Are you still chatting?
I just gave you a mention, Bentinck Road. My first gig with Memphis Slim was in the Ivy Leaf. Remember the Ivy Leaf Club there?
No, I never went there.
No, well, I never did,
So how long do you
except
think
when I
you'll
played.
be?
5-10 minutes?
Okay.
Or should we do it now? I don't know.
What, you doing, Mick, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mick's got to do his at some point. So
Well, we can do it after I'm finished. I'm nearly done.
yeah, all right. So you do finish yours. That's what I just want to find out how long it'll be before you're
Yeah,
done.
5,
so I
10
can
minutes.
tell you.
Yeah. 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Right here?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Maybe I might take you into another room.
It's
Okay.
very quiet in here anyway.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now you made me forget what I was talking about. No, it's all right.
I hope I haven't.
No, don't worry. But actually, you did make me forget where we were.
Yeah, it made me forget too.
Oh, I know what it was. Muddy.
Yeah.
Another one I had a chance, I met in New York was Hubert Sumner. He came back to my house and we played all night.
Isn't he the sweetest human being?
He's fantastic.
I love that man. I love
Me
that
too.
guy. Mr. Beautiful.
I just love his playing with Howlin' Wolf, you know.
Did you ever run into Wolf?
Yeah. I had the pleasure of meeting Wolf. In fact, in the same room was Howlin' Wolf, Willie Dixon, wasn't James Cotton. It might have been James Cotton. And Muddy. Anyway, they had these funny rapports, you know, with each other.
Interesting way of
History
communicating
making
with
time,
each other. Yeah. Yeah. What do you have outside projects going on now, or is it total commitment to the Rolling Stones time?
Yeah, it's total, really.
Are you looking forward to the tour?
Yeah.
Do you do anything special to keep your sanity on the road?
I take these Chinese herbal pills called reishi, which give you some energy and I don't know what they do. It's like pill food for the brain. But I just do a little bit of gentle working out,
Yeah.
a bit of running and a bit of swimming, and generally just enjoying the playing. Looking forward to playing.
You've had such a wonderful career.
I know. I wouldn't change a thing. It's great. It's been brilliant.
This concludes my interview with Ronnie Wood. I hope you enjoy it. Before signing off, I'd like to thank my podcast producer, Nick Hunt, and the fine folks at the Southern Folklife Collection at the University of North Carolina. Please be sure to check out some of our other offerings on my YouTube channel, including an interview with Charlie Watts that was done just moments before this interview with Ronnie Wood. Have fun and take care. See you next time.